Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin from Florals.com and today is the long-awaited episode of 2020 Creative Reset where I show you guys my craft room. Now in the last episode what actually happened was I showed you a bookcase and said I don't want to show you my full craft room. It indeed was a mess, and if you do want to see some of the mess, I do have some behind the scenes footage I'm going to put up on my Patreon channel so you guys can check that out if you're interested. But I ended up rearranging my whole craft room that weekend that I said I was only going to show you part of it because I was fed up with feeling like I was just in a corner of the room, which I was. But now we have like this open space, and it's not totally my room. I also have my boyfriend's desk in here, although we do only have one chair, so like we can't be in here at the same time really. But you know, so I thought that counts. But just coming in the door, here's a full overview of the room, and I do apologize if I make anyone dizzy during this. I know some people have sensitivities to moving cameras, but I'm now going to shut the door so we can do a full wraparound, and then behind the door here is my tripod. So that is like a 360 of my room, my craft room, our second bedroom, but as you can tell there is only one window, so I have a few lights in here, and there's no overhead light either, so we have one lamp on Sam's desk, and then I have my two filming lights and then my small light, and that is it in here. So it gets pretty dark at nighttime. I do have the blinds kind of open so that we can get a little bit more light here for filming. But this is the entire room. I kind of hear an echo. I'm hoping you guys can't. It's just because I'm in the corner here. But I know it still looks quite messy, and no, I did not vacuum the floor. Our downstairs neighbors actually do have a very, very young baby child. I don't know what age she is, but I try not to do a ton of stuff when I know they are home in case she is napping, because that would just be heart-wrenching. So I'm going to give you guys an overview, sort of my side. So these are new from the last time I ever showed you guys this room, including Vlogmas. I ended up hanging up our Disney board, so this is where I put a lot of our Disney stuff. We have some Disney postcards. There's Disney memorabilia in this bag. That one we just got at the Halloween party last year. All of the maps, all of the things go up there. So that's what that is. But other than that, a lot of this stuff hasn't changed from when I moved. And again, I know you guys have only seen bits and pieces of it here and there, but let's start with what's on the floor. This is an off-brand, like Clip It Up, which is just, you know, little clips to clip things up. I used to have my thickers on here, but that has since changed. I do want to keep it. It is on a wood base now instead because the base that came with it was actually broken, so it wouldn't stay upright. So my dad drilled this base for me so it could still use it, but I currently have nothing to put on it. Still thinking about that. I might put little card kits together and hang them up here, but it is really tall, so I could put something taller. I'm just not sure. And then I also have this like divider that you can find from the kitchen section that I need to do something with. This is a pile of junk where things go to die. Actually, this entire like bag is memorabilia I need to sort from vacations. I have another pile of junk. So these are a bunch of envelopes Sam got me. He saw them on like a clearance thing, and he's like, oh, coin envelopes, those are cute. Really cute. Additional painting supplies. This is what I call a DIY bin. This is just an IKEA cube, but I have all of my fake flowers in there. I have some wood pieces, some plates, some frames to DIY tool, my crochet threads in there, that kind of stuff. Then we have the tower of paper. And as anyone who says they have one of these racks basically come from like yard sales of closing scrapbook stores, and that is exactly where I got mine. And to be honest, it's not clean either. I did not reorganize this. I left it as is. Top is like plain cardstock. Yes, this is like all that I have besides my neutrals. This is paper that needs to be sorted. Mostly Pink Fresh Studio, but I do have some newer things, Jelly Bean Soup, that need to be sorted away. Neutrals, and then some of the is that the brand from Joann's? The Coordinations paper? 12 by 12 specialty paper, so most of vellum. I think it's practically all vellum at this point. A couple transparency type of papers, but mostly specialty. One collection pack. Then we go into colors, red, orange, yellow. Somehow purple's here now. Purple is with blue. So purple, blue, green. Then we have this neutral pack, which is sort of more like vintagey neutrals. Multicolored, which is a pretty short stack. And then these are like dark neutrals, so like mostly black and grays, so I try to pick those out. And then after that, we're in the second rack, so these are two stacked on top of each other. This is all of my paper pads that are not in my other paper pad bin close to my desk. So if I get tired of a paper pad, I have to put it here and switch it out for another one. That way I still have, you know, different ones in my line of sight at my desk, but not too many that it overwhelms me. So I do have some that go down there. Don't know why those ones are hiding when there's empty spots, but I have plenty of room still for paper pads, so I definitely could buy more, but I don't need any more. So let's hope we don't buy any more before I use up some of these great ones. And these aren't organized in any way, but they're just here. Then we come to this rack or stack, I don't know what you want to call it. Up here, I just put my new little card from Jana that she just sent me. I have a card that I made back there, one of these wood discs, and then a sign my friend Selena bought me for one of my birthdays. It does light up, but I need batteries for it, so kind of disappointing. But these card holder things, I have two of them. One's here, one's in my living room. They were on clearance at Target for $5, and I had to have them, just had to have them. And now I finally have space for it. It has not been out yet until I just cleaned my craft room. Here we have a couple of paint items that need to be put away. I kind of ran out of room for my acrylic paints. They all get stored in this container here, which is just one of those, you know, Sterilite drawer sets. The top one is foam stamps, palettes, and brushes. And no, I don't use my foam stamps very often. Second one is all acrylics. Third one, you guessed it, more paint. I also have like crackle medium and then some paint markers down there and some puffy paint that's probably bad, but all my paints here, I kind of like having it up here because I really want to get back into acrylic painting again. And I know it's not out yet, but in my monthly favorites and review video, I'll go over one of my goals for getting back into painting there. So if you're interested in that, check out that video when it comes out. Or it might already be out, and if that's the case, I'll have it linked down below. Then we have these bins. These bins are almost entirely DIY supplies, like no scrapbooking. So they're kind of here in the corner, and to be honest, I put my paper all the way over here, way far away from my desk, loose paper and some of my paper pads, because I wanted them as far away from the light as possible. In previous living situations, my paper has gotten damaged from light because a lot of the times we don't have blinds or curtains that were strong enough to block them from the sun. So to prevent that, I put them in the corner and hid them behind this giant case. But this is just one of those, again, like Sterilite drawer containers. First one's mostly felt and then additional like little texture things. So I have some pom-pom trim, some pipe cleaners, some metallics, and I have pom-poms. The glitter drawer, I also have some bags in here because I didn't want them to get squished, and this is like the only drawer that's not filled. There's glitter all over in here. I refuse to try to clean it up because I know it's not going to happen. There's also some other like alterable supplies in here. I used to be more into altering things. If anybody remembers when these frames were on clearance at Michael's and everyone had all of those $1.50 frames. I still have one. Magnetic tape. I have this little chocolate box because I just thought it was so cute. And that proves that I am a hoarder. Then we have the third one, which is kind of like seasonal. So I have some fake snow, jingle bells, some fall baggies, lace, more fall. I buy a lot of things off season when they're going on clearance, so that's what you'll find. The one drawer that is labeled is correct. This is adhesives. I do have a couple scrapbooking adhesives in here, but mostly not. So I have a Xyron refill, some little tape runner refills. These tacky glues here are probably actually dried up, but I also own 4 hot glue guns, which is kind of insane. But you know when you lose one and then you really need one, so then you go out and buy one, and that's how it goes. Here we have another texture drawer. So this is tie-dye material. So I have a couple tie-dyeable things back here. Fabric, iron transfer material, burlap, yarn, regular Elmer's glue. Sometimes you just need that. This was a project where you put your pet's paw prints into a ornament and then you hang it up. So those are remnants of that. Again, lots and lots of fabric back here. No, I don't own a sewing machine. I just own fabric. It doesn't make any sense. Here we have more tie-dye stuff. So these are the actual tie-dye bottles and dyes. I also have a crap ton of these bottles. I like to use these to collect sand when I go on vacation. I didn't do it this vacation because I knew we were going to one beach, but you know how they are. Technically, you're not supposed to take sand. Then I have a hairpin project I did. More dyes here. some skewers, clothespins. And then this is the giveaway drawer. I'm not going to open this because I don't like to show everyone what I have that I want to give away. But you can kind of see here, lots of stuff to give away. I really am trying to plan out what the giveaway for my 4,000 subscriber giveaway will be. So stay tuned for that. But stuff from that drawer, I have stuff elsewhere as well. So you'll just have to wait and see. But we'll move on to the next tower here. Here at the top, behind it, I guess, I have my ribbon organizer. This is the kind from Joann's. So essentially you just pop out these dowels, slide your ribbon on, and then place it. I don't have any on that second one because they're too close together to fit any ribbon. This might also be good if you need it for washi tape. I would not do that because there's so much space between them, so ribbon for now. Loose ribbon and twine goes here. I already dropped one. It's fine. This is my ATG refill that I get from Tape Jungle. A lot of people ask me if I buy off-brand, and yes, I do. But I also know how to rewind my tape without having to start with like the fresh piece that usually snaps in. But maybe that's just a talent I have. I don't know. I have a couple empty containers here that I'm still not sure what to put in. But beneath that, I have my stitching kit and all of my embroidery floss. I do want to get back into stitching. And I also want to learn how to do some cross stitch or hand embroidery or one of those. I'm working on it. And here I have a dusty container that's full of beads that I still have not touched, but I feel like one day I will need all of these soccer beads. I don't know. I've probably had these since elementary school and I refuse to get rid of them. Then we have this container, and I get a lot of questions about where this is from. This is by the brand Jesswear, which was carried at Joann's for the longest time. I don't know if they still make this type of unit, but it has served me well over the years. I did get it for Christmas once and still have it. So the top drawer is actually a junk drawer. This was like the unit that sat under my desk at home before I moved out for college. So a lot of random embellishments ended up in here. We got pretty little, it's still a mess. We're just going to ignore it. Second one is a kit that I kept together. So during my How to Kill a Kit with Style for my first year that I was in it, I had my kit divided up into 3 drawers. Yeah, 3 drawers. So I had one that was divided like this. So you can see the dividers are stuck in there. They do not move. Smaller embellishments went in here. I have some mixed media as well. This one was like bigger stickers, and then my papers were underneath here. But yeah, it's really nice that it's so thin and flat. And then I had like additional stickers and stamps and scraps went up in this one. So these 3 drawers are a kit. I do plan on revisiting that kit, though I have not. But How to Kill a Kit with Style has just relaunched again. So if you guys haven't checked that out on my channel, definitely do so, because you don't want to miss out on another month of making kits and making scrapbooking pages. Then underneath that are all of my 12x12 stickers and chipboard. So I don't have that many. Don't ask me why I bought this one. I don't know anyone that skated or snowboarded, but here we are with skating and snowboarding. So I have a couple chipboard, but mostly it's 12x12 stickers. Yeah, I have 2 chipboard and a bunch of 12x12 stickers, but that's all that's in there. This is another kind of random drawer. This technically doesn't go in here. It's just a bunch of bits and pieces that are chunky and don't really fit anywhere else. So I have some of these like Target chipboard arrows that came out like, I don't know, 2 Valentines ago. Some of these like Michael's hearts that are cool and foiled. Mostly chipboard. A couple oldie things. Some Tim Holtz. I don't know why they're in here, but it fits nicely and it's divided out. Now these are actually latched drawers, so you have to pull it all the way out and then unlatch it in order to get anything out of it. But this is my Halloween drawer. So you can see my Halloween stuff there that Jana sent me this year, the stuff I bought this year. And then some oldies but goodies fall leaves back there. This is my Christmas embellishment drawer. Yes, this one still needs to be put away for my Wild Whisper collection, but I love everything in here. And again, just embellishments and stamps and things like that. Then this is the heaviest one. This is my Christmas paper drawer. So all my 12x12 papers are in here, as well as my 4x6s and my paper pads. So all of it's in there. Kind of crazy, but I got it to all fit. And it's also the heaviest, and it doesn't go back by itself because it's so heavy. So we're going to leave it like that, but we're going to move on to my Raskog next. So my Raskog isn't the prettiest picture to see. It actually does look like a jumbled mess, but this is like my new products category that I like to keep out, so I'm reminded to use new products. It is in one of these IKEA dividers, the Fajala, as I call it. No idea how it's actually pronounced. I do think they no longer make it in white, but it is available in other colors. So if it's perfectly in a Raskog top, and I could take it out if it wasn't so heavy and bring it over to my desk and do fun things with it. So I recently just put in some paper pads in here, so it's much heavier than it used to be. But that's everything on top. Again, all newer things. Some I've touched, some I haven't. Just trying to give them, you know, like the light of day, so I actually pay attention to them and they don't get lost in my stash too quickly. Then beneath that is sort of like my tiny embellishments. So these two full containers are all Spiegelmom scrap sequins. As you guys know, I was on their design team for the longest time, and I really, really love their sequins. And now that I have a fuse tool from Christmas, I think I'll be going through these a lot faster. So hopefully I can narrow it down to one, so this has a little bit more breathing room. Over here to the right are all of my enamel dots. Yes, just this little container. And a lot of them are actually like crystals, so, you know, like these oldie but goodie types, but lots of loose ones and half-used ones and all sorts of stuff. Behind that, I have some additional loose sequins. So these are like the Doris sequin packs, more loose sequins in this one, some cat scrappiness. And then behind that, I just have like a set of inchies. I don't know if you guys remember those, but those were a big thing, and I got those for Christmas one year. Moving down, we have my punch shelf. I did not reorganize this. This is exactly how it looked in the last time I showed you guys this, except I think I put this one away. I did add my envelope punch board to the back. I mean, it punches. It should go with the punches. I see, like, I still have, like, unused punches. Like, I didn't even remember that I had that. We need to do some punch inventory soon. And then behind that are, like, trims. So these are, like, lace trims, sequin trims on popsicle sticks and inside a grape jelly container. What more could you ask for, really? Then we're going to turn to the right. So this is underneath my windowsill, and I really did not want to block the window at all. It is very short window height, so I want to make sure my cats could get into it like they want to, and I even left them like a little step stool there so they could jump in easily and leave easily without having to, you know, cry about it or anything like that. So I do like things stacked out like this. Now, normally I feel like people would buy a bookshelf so they could put all this stuff on it, and I just put it on the floor. Now, the only problem is living in Florida, obviously we have hurricane season and things like that, so I would move all of this just in case the window broke, or I don't know if there's flooding. I would try to take it all off the floor like we did last hurricane season. So there is that. But for usability and the fact that I like to see things while I'm scrapbooking, I don't get overwhelmed by seeing too many options, which is why I like open storage like these. If anything, it prompts me to use more materials on my pages and different materials on my pages than I normally would. And even though I'm kind of facing away from this side of the room, it is off in my left peripheral, so hopefully I can use it up. So to get started, yes, I don't know if I talked about this already, but my curtain does just hang here because we have tacks as curtain rods. So I just move one ring to the other tack as the day goes on so I can open them and shut them. So, and they're also hemmed by me with safety pins instead of actually trimming them or buying new curtains. But this is where my page kits are. So I created a bunch of page kits once. They're all in here. A lot of them have ideas with them for like cat page or things like that. So they're ready to go when I'm feeling a little less inspired. I have some collections back here. Cocoa Vanilla Studio from Scrapbook Your Joy. The rest of that Pink Fresh collection, that Case of the Blahs, I put that together. And then some empty storage as well. All my Webster's Pages products. I just finished working with those as a kit in January for Mini Kit Monday. So that's where that went, back with its Webster's Pages products. That was hard to say. From here to like here is all Disney stuff. So this is my current Disney album I'm trying to finish up this year. Additional cardstock papers I want to use in it, embellishments, photos and memorabilia, and this is more papers and embellishments. And then to the right of that are a bunch of random kits. So I have this kit I just put together, which is a gift for my brother. These are some paper pumpkin kits like I talked about, and then these are Kids Club kits. I think I might do some of these really old kits on Patreon. If you guys are interested, let me know if you want to see them here on YouTube, because maybe we'll do it here too. But these are just those large plastic bags from the Dollar Tree. They work fine. We have an empty photo box. This is actually just a photo box full of the like envelopes your photos come in the mail, like Shutterfly envelopes. So that's where those are. It also holds photo paper. And if you guys know me, I don't even own a regular printer. So why do I have photo paper? Beats me. But Moving on, we have some additional like tool pieces. So I have my Creative Memories cutters template, my Creative Memories cutter mat, watercolor paper, Strathmore paper, watercolor paper, lots of watercolor paper. Some of these are for painting. So like here I have a galaxy background. I started sketching out this a couple years ago. It's probably like 4 years ago now, but it's an Aladdin and Jasmine scene from Aladdin. Because the last painting I did was Pocahontas, and I kind of want to keep with the Disney theme. It's very on brand for me, and I just like them. So let me know your favorite movie down below, and maybe one day I'll paint it. Here are where I decided to put my scraps. Now, I'm not confident in keeping my scraps this way. It's just the way I have it right now. As you guys know, if I work with a paper pad, my scraps usually go directly back into that paper pad because they coordinate, it goes well together, it just makes sense, right? So here I have a magazine rack that is not 12 by 12, it's just the normal 8.5 by 11 sort of size. And I hope you couldn't hear that FedEx truck that was very loud outside. But these are just plain cardstock scraps, so just plain colors, whereas this one's all pattern papers. And in between I have my regular plain colored cardstock. Now I bought these from Michael's. They're the 110-pound cardstock though, so they're great for card bases. I've only opened one of them, which is sad because I've had them for months. Over here we have a couple more collections. So this big box here is all of my Wild Whisper stuff. I like to keep it together because I did get a lot of collections from them when I was on the design team. So I'm just going to keep them together until I start using them up a bit more. And all this one says doilies and texture. It also says K & Company. So this is that K & Company. It's not, I think it's 2 collections actually. So that goes in that box. And then this is a 3 birds collection called Extravaganza that I bought off HSN when I was probably in high school or middle school. My parents bought me that. It was like $50. Oh man, I still have it. Sorry, parents. But it is really cute, and I hope to use it all one day. So then, even though I'm sitting on the floor now, we can kind of see the original bookshelf that I showed you guys. Yes, it has changed a little bit. Yes, that light is blinding, but some things have stayed the same. So I guess we'll start on the bottom shelf since I am down here, but I'm going to address these things first. So these are 2 organizers that I have that are empty. They're just kind of chilling there next to my light. Then I also have my typewriter there so I can access that easily. Next to those, I have my 2 die cut binders. One is just by color and one is by like collection. Then I have my sketchbook. So some of the sketches that I've made are in there. Some that I print off from other places are in there. If you guys didn't know, I've published over, I think it's close to 50 now, sketches over on my Patreon. So if you join the correct tier, you can get access to all of those immediately. So definitely check that out if you're interested in getting my scrapbooking sketches. Then here are my photos, and I had a lot of questions about photos, so I'm going to actually take these out. Now, I am by no means an expert on photo organization. Also, my project life is hidden back there, just in case you guys are wondering. So I'm going to take out, let's see, trying to find one that's a good example. Disney Vacation 1 of 2, March 2017. That is how I label my photo boxes. I don't think I have any photos in here really from anything before 2014. And if I do, it's because it's like an extra. For the most part, all of them are in here from like now. I don't have any of my older photos either printed or maybe they're just, you know, not printed yet. Most of them are already printed and I've gone through the current years pretty well. In terms of photo tracking, I don't have that. In terms of digital photo organization, I don't have that. But all of the photos pre-2014, I don't really have accessible to me. A lot of those are on my parents' computer back in New York or printed at my parents' house back in New York. So for now, I have labels. Now I've tried to add the details. So this is just June and July of this past year. So we went to Disney, I went to Montana, and it was also my 23rd birthday in these 2 months. This was January through May, which is obviously a big time zone, but I was, you know, in a funk back then, and I wasn't taking as many photos. So I only have 2 notes. Donated hair, moved to Florida. Those are kind of like the end points of those, so I left a giant gap. 2018 is just, that one's not in any sort of order, whereas these ones are mostly in chronological order because I print as many times as I can. I try to print, you know, in order off my computer, and since I'm the only person providing myself with photos, occasionally Sam will send me some, but usually I'm the photo taker and the photo printer, and that's all there is to it. So there's that. This is an older one that just says Pop and Lil Adoption, so it's adopting our cats, and as you can see, it's a very fat stack. but it's also like their life with us at the beginning because I thought that'd be great for a mini album or something. This one's not labeled, but this is our DC stuff, and I still have a ton left, and I think honestly, I don't know, the current album that I have for that is already so packed, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit anything else. But these photo keepers are just from Joann's. If they're doing free shipping and like an organization sale, that's when I recommend buying them. My store didn't have them in stock, so it really depends on your location and how much stuff they get in your area. But that's essentially how these are. I do have a couple, I think one maybe that just says needs dates because I have no idea what the dates are and they're not on the back of the photos, which is what I heavily rely on thanks to Shutterfly, because I don't date my photos when they come in or anything. Man, that's heavy. Oh, good thing I moved that to the bottom shelf. I'm also worried that these furniture pieces that I pick up on the side of the road may be quite old, might not hold up. I've had one break before. That one's actually in our living room now, but it used to be my craft room, and one of the entire, like the whole shelf just fell out. So, you know, be careful when you're picking up road furniture. And again, I didn't vacuum the floor, but you probably saw some sequins on the floor there now that I noticed. But now we're moving into this corner where things go to die and be forgotten. So obviously these items were in the way. So I originally had my sketch binder, my photos on this side, but I quickly noticed that one, I wouldn't be able to get to them if I keep this stacking thing up that I had going on. And I thought I could do something else with the space. So right now it's actually not taken up by much. I know it's dark down here, but right now I have my coloring books and a ton of coloring mediums. So these are my Zig markers. I have some Creative Memories stuff down there, my X-Acto knife, which doesn't matter, colored pencils, crayons, colored pencils, Creative Memories cutters, beads. These actually are, I want to go towards my sequins. I'll just take those out. I want to put those in the sequins. Markers, ink pads that I don't use. So it's not a great use of space, but I can fill it with more things. I like the idea of having space later if I need it, but hopefully I don't need it. I don't need to buy any more things after this. So after that, we move on to the second shelf. So I talked about needing a new space for my 6x6 paper pads. And wouldn't you know, I went right back to the organization I had a couple years ago. I think 1 or 2 years ago. I had them in 2 crates, and it was these 2 exact crates because I kept them for moving with my paper pads. If you guys know, paper pads are really heavy, so having something like a photo box like I did before was just too much. So now they're just in here, not organized in any way, shape, or form. If I like it, I'll use it. No more 6x6 paper pads are allowed to be brought into this craft room. Same thing with stamps. I'm running out of room for stamps, so this won't last forever. I do have other stamp storage, which you will see, because I don't think I've really shown that lately. And also this die doesn't go here. I didn't do a full craft room clean out, guys. I just did make it look nice, craft room cleanup. I brought all my new ones in from Christmas, which honestly could go in the new craft area that I talked about. But I have my stamp bins here. You've seen them before. We don't need to go back into that. Then coming up here, whoa, that lighting changed, so much brighter. I did change my paper organizer a little bit. Here's how I did it. Nina Solar White stayed here. Cool tones, blues, greens. There's not really any purple. Warm tones, pink, yellows, oranges, and browns, multicolored, and then ugly browns go down here, like, and some gray. That's what's on the left-hand side. I decided to create a spot for like my current card making project because I often want to put this on my desk, but then all the little bits fly apart. So I have this little divider here that holds the cards in progress, holds the little bits I have die cutted, and then my stamps are still inside my little stamping tool here, so they all stay happy as one family. This is my vintage section. I do want to get like a folder or something to put this in. I just haven't decided what. But I have my bingo cards, Yahtzee cards, Tim Holtz stuff. What brand is this? It's been so long since I've actually bought stuff from them. The fancy one with all the fancy, I don't remember. You guys will tell me in the comments. Beneath that is extra paper and my one 8x8 paper pad. I would actually love to do a mini album just to kill this. It's very dated. Let's see. 2009 is what I guess. Oh my god, it's not going to tell me. It's not on here. Okay, let's guess 2009 probably. Beneath here is vellum, so this is 8.5 by 11 vellum, and then specialty papers, so these all have like a special texture or metallic to them, and then my tear paper down there. I know it's kind of off screen, but it's hard to film and also look at what I'm looking at. These are my traditional neutrals. I like having these close to my desk, and I really don't mind getting up from my desk if I have to, but what I do mind is having to roll around. So my desk chair doesn't necessarily roll around well on the carpet, so I'll just have to get up and come get it, but that's okay. Wax paper, Xyron. Creative Memories trimmer is back there in the abyss somewhere. Stencils the same way they were. Down here's changed a little bit. So these were the tools I showed you that were on the opposing side before, but I just added my clipboard and then a notepad here. I'm going to quickly come over here. So this is my bin from Selena. I still have nothing to put in this, but I still want candy to put in it. So we'll see when Valentine's Day rolls around if I get some candy to put in there. This is my use it or lose it bin. I know the light's kind of in the way and probably also really loud, but these only have like one sticker left each, so they go in here to be first pulled / inspired by. Then we can move up to the top section here. Yes, I did fix that flower. Yes, it did fall again. It's bad, whatever. Then we have my Dilutions paint. I did switch which container they were in because I needed the container for something else. Buttons are still here, paintbrushes are still here, 4x6 cards. Now my 3x4 cards live here. Ooh, no, they're not sorted. I love slipping through all of my 3x4 cards whenever I need a single 3x4 card. And then also my 2x2s are down there, just in case. Did this change at all? No, it did not. If anything, I just included shimmers on this one because I ran out of room on this one, but everything else is the exact same. It's hard to turn because I now have a floral piece next to it, but I still have one empty one. The possibilities are endless. I did add a couple more here and like switch them out. But other than that, all my mixed media lives here, which is right now behind this light, but normally I would turn this light at my desk and I'll be able to see it a little bit better, see it from more space. But eventually the other floral ball will be hanging up there and it'll look so cute. And that is this area over here. I think I'm really happy with how this turned out. Obviously, it's the biggest transformation you guys will see because it's been a while since you've seen my craft room. But obviously my desk has also moved completely, so I just think it looks a lot more open. Let me back up so you can kind of see. Sam's trying to fix that TV. It was broken. We're trying to fix it. That's all that is. But kind of an open, like the cats come in here and walk freely now to the window and out, and probably that's the main reason why I rearranged my craft room. Let's be honest. But here's an overview of my desk. I do a bunch of stuff up here because I have a ton of videos to film as soon as I'm done with this one because, man, once your craft room's clean, you need to document that before it goes away again because sometimes it just happens. I have my new craft mat out. This table's from IKEA and it is in the dining room section. It's not a desk, it's a dining room table, which I like a lot of width because I'm a filmer. I need things out of the way so I don't have them in the shot. But if you don't need a lot of width, you can probably go to the desk section. You never know. But let's hop under the desk before I forget. I have my long iPhone charger for when I do my live streams on Patreon. This is my texture bin. I talked about this last time. I want it close by, but not like in my way. So it just sits next to my 12x12 paper pad bin. I also have my color catcher here, which I've not used in so long, but now that it's next to me, I'm hoping to use it a lot more. My Cricuts back here is collecting dust. That is my light diffuser, my recycling bin, my trash can's next to it, you just can't see it, my fan, which now that I think about it, we need to buy another one because we also like to use it during the hot summers. And then we also have stamp storage. So let's hop over to the other side. Okay, so I've moved my chair out of the way, so now you can see my 12x12 paper pad storage a little bit better. It's just this green bin that I purchased at Target, and I just flipped through my paper pads as so. Obviously, there's too many in here. I just put these two in here from Christmas time, so those might actually go on my, like, switch them out with the ones on my rack just to get some new stuff close to my desk. And then we're passing by the garbage, recycling, fan. To the right side, this is a Valentine's Day kit I made like 2 years ago and haven't touched, so I'm going to try to make some Valentine's Day cards with that. Behind that is my wild hair kit for the month, and that's what I'll be working with. And then I have the layouts I need to journal on that I just finished in January, because that is now my goal. And then I also have my page protectors here now, because if I want to do a pocket page, it's very hard for me to know which pocket pages I have left, so here I'll be able to pull out which one I want. Then here, this kind of goes to the other Raskog, which we're going to come back to, but this is my die storage. I just keep them in 8.5 by 11 rings in their packaging, and that's it. But here's my stamp storage I wanted to talk about. I don't access this regularly. Up here I have some Stampin' Up, my Crayola markers, random ink pads, my Avery Elle pockets. This one is stamps in CD cases, which again is an old technique, but I think people often forget that it's kind of viable. Depends. And then down here's my wooden stamps, which I don't open nearly as often as I should, but just like a small container from, I believe they had these at Walmart. I don't know if they have them anymore. Small storage items like this come in around college time, back to school time, so I would check then if you're looking for something like this. But for the most part, a lot of drawers don't fit under this desk because of this lip. Like I said, it is a dining table, not necessarily a desk. I really wish I had like a positionable desk. I think I'd really like crafting standing up, but I'm not sure. Before we head over to the Raskog to my right, we can now take a better look at my desk. So here's an overview, stuff I need to film with. My OttLite. The ink pads are exactly like you just saw them in the last video. Let me move forward in my chair. Like I said, it doesn't roll easily, but we're here. We have my memories notebook, like my story ID notebook. Then this changed quite a bit, actually, I would say. So the bottom one kind of has some more room. So this one's kind of empty, but this one's all my neutral washi tape laid out a little bit better. As you can tell, no more washi tape. I probably will buy more washi tape, but that's besides the point. Then the next set is, I'll just take these down so it's a little bit easier, are kind of my essentials. So I have my art glitter glue, my regular glue. I also have my broken Liquitex. I didn't notice this, but when I actually took it out of the box after Christmas, it is cracked like crazy. But I just talked to Liquitex, and they're going to send me a new one for free. They don't have extra caps, but they do have extra, you know, they'll just send me a whole new bottle so it doesn't dry out. My black Nuvo drops, adhesive, this is the holder I put on my tripod for when I'm doing lives. And you guys don't get to see this very much, but I sort of have like an L setup for my tripod over here. So again, I know it's very difficult to see, but essentially I have a pole running down behind my desk, and then this one comes out and I can attach this to it so I can live stream, etc. I have my new light and fluffy modeling paste that I want to try, my corner rounder, and some more adhesive. So this is kind of, I can't remember who suggested it, but they suggested I put some essentials up here. So there they are. I'm afraid this is going to fall off my desk. This side stayed the same, so I have my doilies and bits in here, 3D embellishments back there. And instead I put my, I still haven't put them away, guys. Those are all my cardstock die cuts that need to be put away. I did organize them by color, but I have not put them away in my binder yet. Then we also have my Zots, Post-its, strip adhesive, blue tape, and then some index cards. Then this also changed. So these used to be side by side, but now I put all four on top of each other. On top of it, I actually have that card kit that I had up on this unit originally up here. So just the Perfect Pearls, the Letter It kit. I just have that in a photo box. I have my large stamp block out. I really need to desperately clean this, but it helps weigh down just a little bit these drawers because they do move pretty frequently if I pull them too hard. Top drawer is still essential, so I have my embossing buddy, foam tape, different erasers here, the crank for my tripod, extra water, extra glue, staples. I have hot glue in here as well, extra blades if I didn't knock that over loud enough, but just like essentials in there. Then I moved my essential ink section up here instead of towards the bottom, so now I can grab my acrylic blocks faster and my VersaFine faster, and those few colors that I really like. This is the other ink area, but oftentimes these bottom two get blocked, so I have my card making stamp and then my other blacks. I'm pretty sure this is mostly just black ink, but I also have like different tools down here. So I have pencils, like a different type of what would you call that, rub-on tool, a couple acrylic blocks, so just extras kind of that kind of stuff. And then here, I used to use this drawer all the time, but I kind of forgot I had it. So these are my essential alphas, my black thread that I used to use a ton, Post-its, index cards, stitching tool, stitching pad, more of these containers, and then index cards and extra containers. So just dividers to keep things nice and clean. As you can tell, these are pretty beat up, and these organizers were from Target quite a few years ago. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get them anymore. So this didn't change at all either. Washi tape is still very much so my colored washi tape. Love it so much. And then these two are still washi tape. Then we have seasonal wood veneer over here. metal bits over here, so all of my paper clips. Then we have wood veneer in these ones. They kind of get stuck, these ones and these ones. This one and this one. That's right, this one and that one. Do I have too much wood veneer? Yes. Do I love wood veneer? Yes. Will I buy more? Probably. It's just so small and it takes up less space. And this unit in itself does not have a brand on it, but it is a metal one, so I assume it was from the hardware store. But I got it as a hand-me-down and it still works great. On top, before I forget, I just have my stamp erasers, as I call them, and an extra, I don't even know, just a mason jar, but it's like a pretty one from Joann's. Other than that, I have rubber shapes and these patches and beads, but they're like letter tiles in here. Resin flowers, other resin pieces, brads and eyelets back there. Close. Nothing in there. My magic mesh goes in here, which I just saw 2 more and I have no idea where I put them. Empty. More brads. Empty. These are the, what are these called? Scrabble tiles, and then flare up here. Which then moves us to the right side of the desk, where my trimmer usually sits and a bunch of pile of junk. As you can also tell, my craft desk has not been really dusted well, which is okay. You live and you'll learn. These are the cut files that I have. The few that I have are just in these envelopes. Then we move on to this pretty thing. So this is a Totally Tiffany organizer. I've actually shown you at least one of these elsewhere in my room, but I think I have 2 more. So where did I put the other one? I don't know. In the left side here, I have my powder tool, water sprayer, and then essential pencils, pens. This one I have about 5 million tweezers, my mini file, my Tim Holtz distresser, rub-on tools, hole puncher, stapler, mini stapler that is. Here are specialty sort of, well, that's a pen. These are more specialty items, so like my water brushes, water mister, glitter pens, white marker, red eye pen. Do you guys remember this? Do they still make this red eye reduction pen from Creative Memories? So good, always worked for me. But a lot of water brushes. Then I have my scissors, 3 pairs, and my ink blending brushes because they don't fit anywhere else. They're just very bulky to me. All of my black writing tools are right here, so things I might want to journal with. My snow marker and my extra Wink Castella pen are up there. This side's more so like, oh, I forgot about my bone folder. I have my Tim Holtz craft pick, paintbrush, palette knives, those kind of things. And then my rulers in the back, lotion, paper towels, which I seem to always forget about when there's a spill that I have paper towels, and I just always go for these. These are much more eco-friendly than paper towels if you keep using these forever. Don't throw them away, just wash them. It's better for the earth. Now we can move on to my Raskog. Now my Raskog is kind of hard to see because it kind of lives like directly behind the edge of my desk. But on this side I have flat alphabets, so kind of smallest to largest here. They almost transform into chipboard after that. Then back here are all my thickers. This section here is stickers. But in the front I have all the rest of my stickers. So if you're wondering where I go for embellishments, it's usually here first, then die cuts, not the other way around. I'm very much so a sticker person. So sticker books are now in the very front, which I kind of like. I want to use those a lot more than I have been. I also have die cuts that are kind of new and I want to keep together. So that's there. And then it's just a sticker free-for-all. Generally, puffy stickers go on this side. Tall, like labely stickers go up here. Other than that, that's just all of my stickers. I just thumb through them and pick out whatever I like. That's just how it works in my world. But I know it's like a crazy, chaotic mess, but that's how it works for me, and that's okay. So now we're going to drop down here to the side and try to show you guys this. It's kind of hard. Like I said, I don't want to move it because it is very heavy. But here on the side, I have some things attached, so I thought we would start here. I have a binder ring attached to my Raskog and then several things attached on other binder rings. First, phrase stickers. All my phrase stickers go here. They're not up there, like I said. Not all of my stickers are up there. My washi tape swatch book. I have a whole video on Patreon talking about why to do this and how to do it. And then all of my flat stickers that are quite small usually go on this binder ring, including some chipboard stickers, because why not? So that's all that's on there. So simply I just unclip the one, take it to my desk, clip it back. Keeps it out of the way, you know? And then this sort of section is kind of like my card making section. So I have pre-cut card bases here, which are just craft in white, here craft in white, and then a crap ton of fun foam, which is supposed to be behind that. Here's where my finished cards are supposed to go. So I have some finished ones here so I can mail those out easily. I also keep those empties that I put during my favorites videos in here because it's close to my desk. It's just easier. Then to the front here, I also have some more finished cards. So let me move this way. There we go. We're just underneath the desk now. So I have cards that people have sent me. I have coloring tools there on the left. Some additional foam I need to use. And then here are some like completed colored pieces that need to be made into cards. So both of these bins are kind of that. Some are die cut pieces, some are colored and cut pieces, and then some are like kits put together. Then I also have stamp sets pulled out to make cards with, so they have sticky notes attached to them. But on the back side, you'll see something a bit different. Like I said, fun foam here, and then we have a crap ton of envelopes, and my watercolor pencils live back here. Now going down to the bottom, I have my messy mat. I forgot what this is called. Ken Oliver mat, maybe. Is that what this is called? This is the Ranger Mixed Media mat. Cuttlebug, Heat Tool, Cuttlebug cutting pads. More of that ShamWow stuff. It's not ShamWow, it's from the dollar store. All of my embossing folders, and then that's going to fall. Please don't fall. And then these are all of my dies and embossing folders that are new that I haven't put away yet. I also have this pile of junk in the corner that I was hoping to not address, but I need to address it. From here all the way up to here are finished layouts that I have yet to put away. Probably or journal on, or probably date. Other than that, this is the weight bag that goes to the back of my L-angle tripod so that I can put a heavier camera on it and it weighs out. Right now my crocodile lives in there because that's the heaviest craft thing I own. Behind that is an old stamp binder where all of the stamps that are currently in those CD cases, their packaging lives in here, and I'm very scared to put them all back. I have some Q-tips, makeup sponges for mixed media stuff, more finished layouts, Sam's empty computer boxes, computer stuff, camera stuff's all in here, so my camera bag, camera equipment, recording equipment, Cuttlebug stuff. I know it's out of focus, but this little bin's Cuttlebug stuff. And by Cuttlebug, I mean my Cricut. That's Cricut stuff there, so like the markers, the cartridges, all there. In stacks, Polaroid stuff's in there underneath that other camera bag that I just took on vacation. And then we have the infamous Caitlin's room closet. I will not be opening this. It's a real mess in there. It is just like a small little walk-in closet with two sides. But we keep a lot of other stuff in there besides craft stuff, so we're not going in. But another fun thing is this. Now, I hung this before I moved my desk. And yes, it is very much so crooked, but I'm zooming it in enough so you can't tell. But these are cards people have sent me and things people have sent me. And they're also very sweet, and I just want to post them all. So they either end up here on this bulletin board, or the one I have in my living room, or the little card holders that I showed you earlier. But I really appreciate it, and I keep them forever. Like, some of these are years and years old, which is kind of crazy. I think Sam got me that one for Valentine's Day 2 years ago. Well, he made it for me. From Daisy. I think I have one up here from Dolly, Susan, Jana, Danielle, all sorts of friends. And some of my real life friends too. Like Sam made me that happy birthday one. Cute. But I really, really love that. And I love my new space. Can you guys believe that was everything? Like, holy cow. Like I said, this is Sam's side. I infiltrated a lot, actually. You can see how wrinkly this is because I had stuff all over it. But if you guys have any additional questions, please, please, please let me know in the comments down below. And let me know what you guys think of this transformation. It did take around 72 hours. And like I said, I do have other videos to film, so it's about to get real messy again. And look, I even left those beads there, so it's already messy. But the cats want me to open the blinds again, and I need to get to filming my other videos. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite part was and what you enjoyed seeing. I know you guys got to see my photos a little bit more in depth, where I store my kits. You got to see where I store everything. A lot of this is a chaotic mess, but I do work pretty fast in terms of knowing what I want and where it is. So as long as I know where it is, it's all good. But this is one of the first videos I filmed with my new mat. I hope you guys like it. I know you're not seeing it face down, you know, right directly, but it is nice. It smells like that kind of like rubbery smell. I always enjoyed that smell because it means new, but I really had fun rearranging this area that you guys wanted to see. And I can't believe this room tour is over. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, because 2020 Creative Reset is not over. We're going to dive into how to use our supplies in creative ways and setting our supplies up for success for us. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!